Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Grace Ronke Adegoke, and today I'm making jollof rice, Nigerian jollof rice, the West African dish. Okay, so I'm going to show you a simple, easy and quick way of making jollof rice. This dish you can cook under 20-30 minutes. Even when your friends have arrived or you want to feed your family, you just want to change the rice a little bit from plain white rice to something more rich and delicious. Takes you back to Africa. Takes you back to where I grew up in Nigeria. So today is just going to be simple and straightforward. Now, if you like to see this, please stay tuned. Right, so first off, I have some ingredients here, and I'm just going to use a handful of ingredients so it's just easy to recreate at home. Now, I have the red pepper, sweet red pepper. It needs to be red. If you use green, your rice will be green. If you use any other color, it's not going to be red, because the rice absorbs the color of the peppers and the tomatoes, and that's what gives jollof rice the distinction. You know, when you compare it to the fried rice, they're different in colors. Okay, so you have this pepper, and also you can add scotch bonnet for a bit of heat, or even chili or cracked chili or crushed chili, whatever you have. And I have 1 can of chopped tomatoes, anyone you have, or you can have fresh tomatoes. Just cut them into quarters and throw them all in. So I have that, and also I'm cooking 5 cups of rice today, because I'm aiming to feed about 10 or 12 people from this, or if they're not big eaters, you can feed more. So, but tonight, this is going to feed about 10 people. And this is an idea to help you pick up some tips, and you can cook in bulk. You can cook for more rather than cooking for 1 or 2. It saves you the gas, the time that you invest into cooking for 1, and you can just pack this food into your foil container or plastic tubs or whatever Tupperwares you have in the house, and put them in the freezer and bring them out when you're rushing and you don't have time to prep all over. Okay, so to get started, I'm just going to grab a liquidizer. Okay, liquidizer instead of a food processor chopper, because we need this to be blended fine and smooth. Okay, but there's no hard and fast rule. It doesn't have to be too fine. You can make it to your own liking. Okay, so just flip the can open into here. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid. Okay, you always need liquid in the liquidizer anyway, to make it easy to blend, and at the same time you rinse the can for recycling. So this pepper was frozen. I brought this out of the freezer, so it's easy to just tear off. And this is not been frozen, this is fresh. So you can just use whatever you have, either fresh or frozen in your house. Break it down. These ones are sweet peppers. They're not going to, do you any harm. Okay, and also, so I'm using 3 peppers, sweet red peppers in here today. All right, and 1 scotch bonnet pepper. Doesn't need chopping down, just throw it in. And also the onions, I have 2 onions. Okay, and also I have all of this garlic and ginger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything in the liquidizer, so I don't have to grate any of this, and they can all be blended nice and fine. So a quick peel of the ginger with a very nice small sharp knife. Doesn't really have to be too sharp, but it makes the job easier. You can also peel it with a teaspoon. Okay, so that's all done. So let's cut this down into chunks. Remember, the liquidizer is going to do the rest, so I don't need to slave over that. And the next thing is to break the garlic up. Okay, just give it a little bash on the edge and it's done. Okay, break them up. You can use as little garlic as you like or as much as you want. There is no hard and fast rule to how much garlic you can have. If people don't like garlic, okay, just crush it down like that. Crush the garlic, crush it with the end of the knife like that, and it makes it easy to peel. You don't have to stand on your feet forever peeling the garlic. Very appealing. So that one is peeled so nicely and quickly. Okay, there we go. Right, and that as well. In goes, and the next, and the next, and the next. If you notice, I've left the onions to the end, okay, because I don't want to be crying through these peelings. All right, so the 2 onions are going to go in as well. Okay, so this is garlic and ginger all done, and the onions. Okay, and you can cut this into quarters because it's going to go in the liquidizer yet again. And I'm leaving the root end of the onions to the end, and that will preserve the strong peppery things that come out of the onions. So the onions just roughly cut down and everything goes straight in the blender. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 2, and this also put it down straight in. This onion is very, very strong, so that's why I've left it to the last, so I don't have to cry doing this. It's very, very strong. So hopefully we have enough space in this blender to blend everything up. That's the plan. Just blending it once. But if you have plenty of ingredients and your blender is small, obviously blend it twice. Okay, so I think this will be okay for this instance. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid to this. Okay, so let me just leave these onions behind. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, so like 2 cups of water with the chopped tomato, and it's going into the blending now over here. Okay. That was quick. It's all blended, ready to go. That's what we have. Okay, now let's get the pan on the oil. Okay, so for it on there, and I have the ladle and this small onion. I'm just going to dice it into little cubes. I'm going to saute it in the oil just before I put this pepper in. it's got some special aroma it adds to the cooking. So and also I have this curry powder. We're going to use some bay leaves, fresh thyme, mixed spices, and also sea salt. And we also have this tomato puree, 2 cans of the tomato puree. And these are all the ingredients we're going to use today. Now, the oil. So I've chosen the rice bran oil, very rich in vitamin E, and also it has a good high smoking point. So if we want to stir fry the sauce first in the pan, that's why I've chosen this oil. And you can also choose rapeseed oil. You can use your olive oil as well, or a mixture of both. I've chosen this one today. Okay, so there we have. You can use just a little bit of oil, like 1/4 cup or less, and you can also use butter if you are not lactose free or lactose intolerant. So I'm going to put the diced onion right into there. Okay. So that is what we have right now. Okay, so that's what you have. That's what the oil is doing at the moment. You add some curry powder, a little bit of your mixed spice. You can add more later, nothing's coming out. Okay, mixed spice. Now, this oil is very hot, so I'm going to add this mixture now. So be careful because we're going to be splitting and splashing. And straight away add your tomato puree. In goes. Add everything and give it time to just cook and simmer. Right, so I'm adding some water into the can of the tomato puree. Put the lid on, give it a shake so you get everything out of the bottle. And that's how you do it. Okay, you can put more, rinse it one more time, and your glass jar is rinsed, ready for recycling. Okay, so the next thing is the bay leaf. Just drop them all in. Okay, now you see the amount of bay leaf I'm using. I love bay leaf, and you got your time. Just put them all in like that. in there. Certain secret to the cooking of jollof is in your spices and your herbs. Okay, so let's give it a quick mix. Now look at that color. The tomato puree is changed the color so much. Look at that. Okay, so the next thing is the chicken stock. Okay, you can use that's fitting. Oh gosh. All right, let me just raise my hand so quickly. That's hot. Okay, right, so that's big heat, splashing and spitting. So be careful when you cook your jollof rice, because you're going to get that. You need a big fire to start off to get the sauce cooked and caramelized. So 500 ml of the chicken stock, or you can use vegetable stock, especially if you are a vegetarian. Instead of the chicken stock, use vegetable stock. And this is a very quick way. That's why I'm using this. This is meant to be quick. But if you need some protein, you want to cook some chicken, just pick up some chicken and make some homemade stock with root vegetables, your spices, and add the liquid, the stock, into here when you take your chicken out. So today I'm just going to use this stock that I pick up. Okay, now I don't like staying in the kitchen too long, though I love cooking, but you know, maximizing the time is key. So I've had to open this wider than suggested, so I can just empty everything so quick. So all of that is gone in now. It's all gone in. That's it. Look at the color. So let's add the seasoning. We need some sea salt. Okay. Remember, we're cooking 5 cups of rice. Okay. So this sea salt, there isn't much taste to this sea salt. It's very light, you know, and the rice is going to absorb all of that seasoning in a minute. Okay, so I'll leave this to carry on cooking for a while. In about 15 minutes, I can put the rice in. The sauce will have reduced down a little bit, but not too much, because you need the liquid to cook the rice. Otherwise, you're still going to have to add some liquid anyway. So I have already boiled the kettle, which is a sure way of getting it faster again. So kettle is boiled, ready to go. Okay, so a couple of minutes into the cooking, is already looking good. So when I started, I said I might use 2 of the tomato puree, so I'm only using 1. It seems like the red pepper and the tomatoes, the chopped tomato, has given a really good color to the sauce. So there is no point using 2. One good thing about this style of cooking is you can freestyle it and make it easy, you know. So make it your own. No 2 cooks cook the same way. Okay, you can make your own adjustments and adapt it to your taste and what you like, and take what you don't like out of it. There is the rice. You can give your rice a quick rinse in the tap, or I don't rinse mine, I just pour it in. This rice are parboiled, there is no need to rinse any rice. Just pour it in straight when it's time to put it in. In about 10 minutes, I will put the rice in. Keep my eyes on the clock. So 10 minutes later, it's looking like this. I hope you can see what the sauce is like. I've just reduced the heat so I can put the rice in. All rice going in there. There we go. Okay, 5 cups of rice into all the ingredients that we prep and blended together in here. Now I'm going to add some liquid. So one of my tricks is to rinse down all this splashing onto the lid back in the pan. Lid is clean. Okay. So add enough water to cover the rice. You can control the heat or reduce the liquid. So since this is only easy cook parboiled rice, it doesn't need much liquid. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes to be ready. And so it's not going to need a lot of liquid. So on top of the blending liquid, the tomato puree, the liquid I added to rinse the jar of the puree. So you basically have like 6 cups of liquid in here. Okay, so I have a jollof rice recipe in this book. It's right here. Okay, and this one serves 6 to 8 people in this book. So all the recipe are in here. If you're interested, give us a bell. There are a few dishes in there, both African and Caribbean. There's rice and peas, there's ackee and saltfish, there's my pepper sauce, ogbono, also pounded yam, satsa, you have kalaloo, cook African style, you have moi moi, beautiful signature dish of mine. There's the ackee and saltfish, and you have yam pepper soup with oxtail and a few other ones. So give us a shout if you want a copy of the book. It will be in the post to you straight the second day. So we leave the rice to simmer. Okay, there, it's already coming back to boil. Okay, so another 5 to 8 minutes, this rice should be ready to serve. Okay, so what is important, as soon as this comes back to the boil, reduce the fire. This heat is on 8 on this induction hob at the moment. I'm going to take it down to 3. Okay, so half the amount of heat or even lower. I can leave it at 2 depending on how much liquid is in here. If I want that liquid to dry up faster, I'll leave it for much longer before I reduce it. But you run the risk of burning the jollof rice, because the dry rice, the product, absorb a lot of liquid so quick, before you know it, it's sticking to the pan. So always, as soon as it comes back to the boil, reduce the heat to simmering, so you don't have to worry about it burning, because the steam you already have in the pan will cook the jollof rice to perfection. And that is what we're going to do, what I'm doing today. So as I said, this heat is on 3, and I'll come back and reduce it to 2 or to 1 and let it finish off honesty. So about 8 minutes into the cooking, this is what we have. There we go. You can see all the liquids have been absorbed. Okay, it's looking still wet. And if we do a taste test, let's see how much cooking we need to do. The aroma is there. It smells authentic. It's got a bite to it. If you like your rice al dente, you will switch off the fire now. The remaining liquid that looks wet in the rice and the steam in the pan will finish this rice off to perfection. Okay, so for me, I like my rice al dente, no mushy. So by the time I switch this off, this fire is still on 3, as I said, since you can see the 3 here. So I'm going to take it down to 0 now, because I have enough heat in here to finish this rice off nicely. But look at that gorgeous color. That is the jollof rice that I know. So if you don't like it dry, this would be ideal. You know, if you like it crispy and dry, switch off now, as I've done, so the rice will absorb the rest of the liquid and that moistness will reduce further. So I put this lid back on and let it do its own thing for a few more minutes, and all of the heat, residual heat in this pan, will dry up the moisture that is remaining, and this rice will be cooked to perfection. So yeah, that's the heat switch off completely now, and once everything is ready to serve, I'll serve it up and give you a sneak peek. Well, this is the end of the cooking, so thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day. I hope you can recreate this dish now in the same way that I have done and enjoy cooking it. I hope you can do the same. I just love the heat that comes from the kitchen. So don't mind me, this is not really hot. I can take the heat. So have a lovely day and enjoy your day, whatever you choose to do. Take care. Bye-bye. This is the reveal. The rice is ready. It's dried up a little bit more, even without the heat. In there, the steam, remaining residual heat has dried it up and made it a bit more less moist. So this is it, the jollof rice of Nigeria, served. Eat and enjoy. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm now going to pack the food into containers like this, and you can put them in your freezer, label it up, put the date on, and presto, you have ready meals for when you need it for. So these were the curry that I made earlier on, all packed, mild and hot or spicy, so you know exactly what you have in your freezer for the days when you're super busy and you can't start from scratch. So it's all done now. Beautiful food. Thank you guys for watching. You can serve this with some chicken, some fish, some vegetables, salad, and just a little less portion than what is in this plate. This is just for presentation. So take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.